backup, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder.
Hey guys, what's going on? Nerf Herder here. I've got a saber that I finished up recently that was a commission for a friend of mine, Ryan of RPK Customs. If you've watched this channel for a while, I'm a fan of the Luke V2. I've only done a few of them. I only have one of the Luke V2 stunt saber that I did a install on, maybe a couple videos on here. I'm a huge fan of the Luke Hero and V2 thin neck in general. And while I was doing when we started quarantine, I decided to do a video a day for as long as I could. I guess originally it was just like a week, but it ended up being like 2 or 3 weeks. But I called it Fancy Week, and I was like, we're going to get fancy every day for a week. I had pumped out a new video of just whatever, just to entertain people. And during that time, Ryan started watching, and he was like, man, you've been entertaining me since lockdown, and I appreciate it. And then him and I got to talking, and he sent me one of his hilts, because I've been wanting to get one of his for a long time. So RPK Customs, he does some really cool hilts for V2s and whatnot, and they're custom machined, and they're just, it's amazing. He sent me one, and I was completely just, holy cow, I was super stoked about it. It was awesome. I did an unboxing video, and I had a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to build it, but it's one of these ones that it stays clean. I've got the stencil. I've got the Trooper Trent stencil. I'm ready to do it, but I can't. I haven't brought myself to do it yet because it's just so nice. I mean, it's just so. Listen to that. Oh, so many threads. It's just so nice. I can't wait to install it one day. But it's pretty tough for me to weather this thing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It sits clean on my desk, and I like to unthread it and just go with it. But it's a very kind thing that he did. He sent that to me. This is a discontinued version 2, or I believe he's other versions now that are amazing. Let's see. And he also sent me, most recently, he also sent me my little thing of Beskar, which is pretty cool. You can see all that. So I was like, hey man, because he's a huge fan of the Scrapflexes. One of my Scrapflex that I did years ago is my first custom saber that I've ever attempted to do that had a lot of modifications to it, which was this Scrapflex here. I don't have the card in here because it's in his. This one is the one that I tried to make a TFU2, like a Force Unleashed 2 style saber, which I'll never get rid of this one. This is where it all started, baby. It has a Prism 5.1. This is also the very first lightsaber that I ever did a neopixel build on. This was my first neopixel build. It's my first neopixel blade, and it even has the DIN pin system. This is before the pancake emitter was really hitting it big. So Ryan was a big fan of this lightsaber. I eventually got rid of my kits, sadly. I traded them to Dylan of Dembek Relics, and I traded a kit to him and some other stuff, and he bought me the TFU2 hilt from Korbanth, which is a really nice hilt. He bought that for me, and Ryan was like, do you have any more kits? Can I get you to make me one of your Scrapflexes like this? And I was like, oh, no, I don't have it. I just got rid of them. So he hit Dylan up, and Dylan used the kit that I got, or that I sent him, and he made Dylan's version of the Scrapflex. So it's got heat stain weathering that Dylan does. This is Dylan. The only thing I did cosmetic-wise, really, was I put a red capuchon in the glass eye and this pommel. I did the pommel. Originally, it was sent to me with a low-profile pommel that comes with Korbanth on a D-ring, but I really wanted to make him one that had some form of a pommel on it. It just makes it more balanced. It's more comfortable. It feels better. I'm pretty sure that Ryan did the clamp V2 style, missing the bar on that side, long clamp lever. But Dylan did the leather wrap, the cut. There's differences in Dylan's Scrapflex and my Scrapflex, and we always go, we always butt heads on this. Mine has 2 rings in the waist section. Dylan's has 1. He thinks 1 ring is better. 1 ring to rule them all. Keep telling yourself that, bro. No, it does look really good. I like it a lot. But, yeah, my clamp slides up a little higher than his. But there you go. Essentially the same. Tried to get it as close as we could, I guess. Even though Dylan refuses to do the 2-cut higher clamp than mine. Whatever, Dylan. I'm just kidding. It does look really good. I did the pommel. What I ended up doing was, it's kind of ghetto, but it works. I had an extra pommel, a korbanth Scrapflex pommel, shaved it off, used the threads as a adapter, and this is a Saber Forge, I think it's a Phoenix pommel, and it fit just perfectly in there. So that's attached to the pommel, and the pommel threads into the body. It's not the best threading, because it's just kind of nasty. It fits perfectly, obviously, because it was made for it. We left it. Once I got it on, it can come off, but, you know, some of the threads I kind of damaged in the cut. I tried to clean them up as best I could. So it's not a smooth on and off, but it definitely goes on and stays on. But he will be removing the body from the threads on at the top anyways. So this has a CFX with a removable battery, Smugglers Outpost 28mm full range speaker. These things are amazing. You can get them on Etsy from our Smugglers Outpost page. And then the chassis is from my buddy JR, who is a fellow smuggler as well, from Acolyte Armory. He 3D prints chassis as well. So there's your CFX, SD card access, popped in and out. Battery, just pop it in and out. It's really, really easy. 3D printed switch holder, TCSS, neopixel connector. So you just thread that baby back on. Boom. Alright, I don't have a proper blade plug made for Ryan, so this is one of my blade plugs. I don't have a blade plug made for you, brother, but this will just give you guys an idea of what it looks like with a blade plug in. The Saber looks so good in green, which I think is what Ryan likes to go for. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put that blade in there because this blade plug, like I said, is not made for this. This is my personal one. I'm low on supplies to make these blade plugs for people. Shipping's kind of a nightmare. A lot of it comes from China. These are just little blade plugs that I like to throw together. This doesn't have a speaker vent. Ryan will probably get on that because he can machine stuff 10 times better than I ever will. 7/8 inch. Ryan, I shaved down the glass eye, so it never needs to move. It'll always sit flush. Your blade retention will be this guy right here, the top thumb screw. This thing is loud. And man, it feels so much better now with that pommel. It just gives it that extra weight. Yeah, man, with a 32-inch blade, this thing is so much fun to swing around. It's very well balanced. Pretty much a full battery. Battery indicator, just press the auxiliary button and it'll scroll up and show you. Yeah, about 90% battery. God, I love Scrapflexes so much. It's a shame. I didn't mention it in the video. If you aren't aware of what a Scrapflex is, there's tons of different things that give away a Scrapflex. You know, people, there's Scrap Text and Scrapflex. Scrapflex is usually more Graphics inspired stuff as far as clamps, control boxes. Usually, I mean, it's pretty much taking this is a Graphics Korbanth 2.0 kit. The 2.0 kit, you can do the sections like this. Like I do the 2.0 kit I use for this guy, the 2.0 kit I use for Derelict 1, the 2.0 I use for Star Killers. I mean, you name it, man. That gives you that waist section because there's a ribbed core. And the 2.5 doesn't have a ribbed core, so a lot of the Scrapflexes you'll see, the clamps usually meet the leather body, and that's how you get them done. But it still works really well. I've always preferred to make my Scrapflexes out of the 2.0. The 2.0 to me has a lot more options. So Ryan only got 2 fonts for this saber. He only wanted the 2 that we put on here from Kyberphonic Fonts, which is the A New Hope Training, which is Star Wars A New Hope Graphics font, and the Return, which is the Return of the Jedi, Thin Neck, Luke, Hero V2 lightsaber font from Return of the Jedi. So let's go ahead and go over to that. As the rest of this is just going to be stock fonts on here. I changed them over to Smooth Swing and did your accent swings, your hybrid mode, and all that stuff. But you do have that's the cat one. For those, you know what? For those wondering on the stock font, I forget sometimes. Usually, I take almost all these fonts off here that aren't Smooth Swing on my boards. I completely forgot about the cat one that comes with it. This is a stock cat font. So ridiculous. But yeah, I made all the other fonts on here have hybrid mode and switched over Nebula and Crystal Focus to where you have the Smooth Swing versions. But there are some fonts on here that are legacy, so there's no Smooth Swing, but they still work. This is A&H Training.
There's no such thing as luck.
Look, good against remotes is one thing. Good against the living, it's something else. Yet I've flown from one side of this galaxy to the other. I've seen a lot of strange stuff, but I've never seen anything to make me believe there's one all-powerful force controlling everything. There's no mystical energy field controls my destiny.
You made a film. Screaming about it, can't you?
It's not wise, so instead of looking.
And then also you should have a track on here to play your music tracks. You hold the power down until it beeps. And on this one, it's the droid, the little training droid.
trust them. I call it luck. Eyes can deceive you, don't trust them.
And then the next font we've got
I'm a Jedi, like my father before me.
The Return, also by Kyberphonic Fonts. Classic, man. And again, I believe you have the throne room for music. Good. All right. So there we go. I love it, man. It's so good. Ryan, I know you're gonna love it, man. This thing is it just feels good to swing around. It really does. It's a well balanced hilt now. We were just lucky, man. I had this pommel laying around and it fit just right once I had that adapter. I grinded it down a little and slid that adapter over it, locked her down, and I was like, wow, all right, cool. So I was glad that worked out. So again, another great Scrapflex out there in the wild for somebody who will really enjoy it. Ryan, you're going to want to use, unless you just want to fiddle with it, this is my clamp card for that saber. It's the thin ones for the kit, the korbanth kit. It's just easier to use. And that's not to say that you can't get a card and modify it in there, but you're going to have to do some sanding and get it just right to where the buttons will be clicky. Right now with this card, it's pretty simple.
Sound bank selection.
I'm a Jedi.
Audio player. SD card system menu. Exit menu.
Night.
Crystal.
Nebula.
Remy.
That rarely gets old to me. All right, man. I hope you enjoy it. I'll finish this up as far as hopefully any more configuration you want me to do on the blades. I don't have any blade effects or anything on there other than, you know, the flash on and the localized and whatnot. Ryan, let me know what you if there's anything you want me to change, if you want to add any more fonts. I can hold on to this for a second to see if I can get more blade supplies for blade plug, but that's entirely up to you, man. But yeah, that'll do it for this one, man. This is another Scrapflex. Sad to see it go. It's very comfortable, as I've come to love these Scrapflexes very much. I mean, who don't love a good Scrapflex, man? Also, I've been able to test to see which one I like, the 1 ring or the 2 rings, and I'm not sure. After all that bickering back and forth that Dylan and I do, where 1 ring is better than 2 rings, I don't know. They're both comfortable. They both work. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I have a couple more builds in the works. There'll be another Scrapflex in the works as well. I always enjoy doing them. They are probably my favorite hilt to build and put together. It's a shame that Korbanth 2.0 kit is discontinued. There are still some out in the wild. If you have one and you are looking to get a Scrapflex treatment, more than welcome to send it my way. I do enjoy doing them. Or you can play with it and modify it yourself and see what you come up with. It was the very first one I ever built. The very first custom saber. Taking my clamp card back. Because the very first custom saber I ever did was this Scrapflex. I made it come to life, and it changed everything for me. Go out there and do it yourself if you want to, or you can send it my way and I'll play with it. Alright guys, that'll do it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for leaving comments, liking the videos, and engaging. I really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations.
Who's scruffy looking?